Egreth, you're back. Did you end your classes early? Well, it's only the first day of classes. There's not much I can teach on the first day. First years are way too excited and reckless. Speaking of reckless, I heard you have that kid that nearly killed Iris at orientation. Oh yes, don't even get me started on that one. The good thing is that Novella bound their magic, so they aren't able to pull any funny business. Aren't they related to Minos, Luna's apprentice? Oh yes. The resemblance is uncanny, but their personalities are totally opposite. I just hope they don't dare give you any trouble. I would absolutely hate to see a student in the pathway of your wrath. You say that like it's a compliment. Well, it is. I've never seen so many students more terrified of you than Novella. Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. Quiet, you. What did I tell students this afternoon about my meeting hours? I don't meet with students after classes are out for the day. What do you mean Novella sent you? To see Professor Anvair? Me? Novella sent you to me? Why? You're having trouble studying the element of fire, so Novella sent you to me? Well, I don't understand why. Novella is trained in all of the elements, more so than the rest. Oh, she's busy. Of course she is. Well, don't just stand there. Come on up. How nice of Novella to send you her scraps. You know she's busy with the whole stolen tome thing. She doesn't even know who really stole it yet. I don't blame her for sending them to us. She's already stressed about it enough. That's exactly what you said when she was dealing with Raphael. And now look where it's gotten us. History is repeating itself, Sura. You don't want the both of us to be investigated by the headmaster, do you? Of course not. But like I said before, it's best not to get on Novella's bad side. Get on her bad side? Do you even hear yourself? What you're saying isn't like you. Well, what do you expect us to do then? I don't know yet. We shall figure things out later. But for right now, Novella's apprentice needs our help. Fine. But we are talking about this more later. My apologies, young one. I just needed to talk with Egreth about something. You said you needed help with studying the element of fire, yes? Luckily for you, I know all there is to know about fire. My ancestors were dragon riders long ago, before the continent was even formed. Eventually, however, dragons were extinct, and all that remains of them are fossils of bones and petrified eggs. I do have a petrified dragon egg if you would like to take a look. Well, of course, if it helps your education. This petrified dragon egg belonged to one of my ancestors centuries ago. Their goal in life was to try and bring the dragons back with magic, but to no avail. Instead, the eggs became a great source of magical power and have been passed down through my family in order to charge our magic. Will the egg ever hatch? I don't believe so. I don't think even the magic of the most powerful mage could make the petrified eggs hatch. Besides, some creatures are meant to stay extinct. Tooling with the laws of nature has cost the lives of people in the past. But how I do wish I could own a dragon like my ancestors did. Why did the dragons go extinct? Well, many people in this world do not like the fact that dragons could burn down their cities and kill all of their livestock. So the people of this world found and killed every last dragon and stomped on any dragon egg they could find. 'Tis quite a sad thing. But I do in fact have a dragon, just not the type of dragon you would normally think of. I have a Komodo dragon, named Dragon. Don't worry, he won't eat you. He's a very picky eater. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, fire. Fire is a purifying energy that creates and destroys. The energy that one uses to create fire magic will ultimately sacrifice something in the progress. For example, if one uses fire, they must sacrifice grounding energy from their body in order to cast fire spells. Those that use fire magic have to ground themselves more often due to the amount of energy they have to sacrifice. And that is why I do not work with fire. I'm already tired enough. I'm sure that Egreth has told you she works with earth and water as her main elements. Water and earth has its advantages. It doesn't take much energy to use either of the elements, and casting circles with those elements are easy, and they provide great protection. Do know that just because your mentor is experienced with the element of fire doesn't mean you have to follow in her footsteps. I believe that Novella had an apprentice by the name of Iris who practiced blue magic, which uses both dark and light magic. Of course, she did this against Novella's wishes, but unlike Novella, Iris is free and roaming the continents, while Novella is stuck here, like the rest of us. If you can't tell, Novella and Egreth don't really get along. We tolerate one another, but I disagree with how she teaches. Putting pressure on your students never ends well. If she puts you under too much pressure, please do let me know if you would like a new mentor. Egreth, I'm just saying, there is a reason why your brother refuses to have Novella as his mentor. I'm sure you're aware of this. It's a shame what happened to your sister, and it would be more of a shame if Novella had something to do with it. Egreth, that is enough. Don't go ahead and accuse someone of something they had nothing to do with. And how do you know she had nothing to do with it? Because the headmaster said so. Are you just going to believe whatever the headmaster tells us? Perhaps I will. Enough with this. They came here to study, not to be lectured on the conspiracies of how their sister died. Fine, I'll be done with it. I'm heading back to my chambers. Good night. I'm so sorry about her. Ever since the death of your sister, she's been on high alert when it comes to other students. She wants to make sure that the monastery is safe and that no other students will die in that sort of manner. Egreth has always been protective of the students and other mages, it seems. Her family had to escape the capital of the Arestan Empire during the reign of Empress Adme. They were afraid when the Oxius family was exiled from the palace that the Empress perhaps would come after other mages too. Propaganda started spreading about healers in the Empire not doing enough. And, well, Egreth's family moved here, near the monastery. Do you see why now she's protective of students? Don't ever take your powers for granted, all right? Remember that. It's getting late, though, and it's almost your curfew. You should head back to your dorm before the sunset. Always return there before sunset. And of course, if you need more help studying the elements, you know where to find me and Dragon, all right? Good night, young one. Sleep well.